Do we not fight hard enough? Do we give in too easily? Do we not let God cook in our relationships and in our marriage? These are questions I have for you, because this is what's going on. Today, the divorce rate in America is at its all-time high. Between 43 and 46% of first-time couples are getting divorced. There is something wrong with that. If you thought that was shocking, check this out. So Forbes magazine wrote this, and this was in 2024. So this year, not like 10 years ago, not 15 years ago, this year, says that 70% of women initiated a divorce, but this figure does not translate to breakups in dating relationships. So that could be a little bit higher of a woman in like initiating a breakup and a divorce, okay, together. Lack of commitment is the most common reason for the divorce. 75% of individuals and couples cited lack of commitment as a reason for the divorce. This was the most common cause of a marriage ending, exceeding even infidelity. It also states that 58% of couples reported arguing in an excess conflict. 45% of divorcing couples indicated their marriage was too young, and 38% reported financial problems as a divorce cause. Okay. And then written this year in 2023 from divorcemag.com, great name, you know, 6 reasons why women are more likely to file a divorce over a man. And this caught my eye because I feel like men seem to stick in there a little bit more, and this caught my eye, right? So I was like, okay, let's take a look at this. 1, most women no longer dream of being housewives. They want satisfying careers and marriages. Number 2, women look forward to equality of sexes. Men look backward to the golden age of marriage. And number 3, women are less willing to accept unhappy relationships than men. 4, men often believe there is more to lose in a divorce than women. Number 5, women are quicker to consult a lawyer than a man. Number 6, women are much more aware of emotional health of their marriages than men. All right, so when I know there's a lot of information that was thrown out to you guys, the Forbes magazine one with the percentages, I feel like to me that is something of, I'm gonna ruffle feathers, man. I believe wholeheartedly that's immaturity. People that don't know how to argue, feel like they've gotten married too young, and the whole financial problems for a divorce, that to me is immaturity. Just like a broad scheme without like digging into certain circumstances, things like that. I feel like it's immaturity. Okay, as far as the divorcemag.com ones, like I said, great name. There's a lot that goes in there. Okay. To me, I look at when I see those 6 reasons for divorce. Times have changed. Yes. We're not in the golden age of marriage, like the 50s, 40s, where the woman stayed home and wanted to just be a housewife, have kids, make sure the house was good, make the dinners and stuff like that. And they were okay with that, right? Times have changed a little bit where a woman is more of a career driven. Some women don't want to have kids, so on and so forth. And so, yes, the times have changed. But the thing is, though, in the end, this is going to ruffle feathers, man. Women and men are not equal. Okay. It talks about it in the Bible. It talks about how a man is head of the house. It talks about how man is over woman and how a woman needs to submit to a man, but it's not what you think, right? We're supposed to submit to each other. We're supposed to die to each other daily. We're supposed to love each other like Christ loves the church. So these words that are being thrown around like submit and things like that, people look at that as, oh my gosh, I'm not going to just let him walk all over me kind of thing. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about how man and woman, we're supposed to work together. Man makes the final decisions of the house. You talk about things, you discuss things, but the man has the overall authority over the wife and the children of the house to make a decision. Okay. And so we got to look at things in a different point of view, not just in these words that in today's culture seem to make it so that it's so bad. I'm just going to say that, right? As far as women are less willing to accept an unhappy relationship than a man. I believe that. I'm gonna put that in with the next one where it talks about unhappy relationships over men, and then it talks about how men often believe that there's more to lose in a divorce than a woman. For me, as a man that went through a divorce and everything, I look at it this way. A man, if you love somebody, you will go through hell and back for them, even if they're unhappy with you. Okay. There are seasons in life where you will have your ups and downs. There's going to be seasons in your life where you're going to test each other's patience and love and compassion and everything towards each other. In a good marriage, in a good relationship, the ugly will come out. The ugly side of you will come out. It will be exposed. But that's only to make you better. It's not to tear down a marriage. It's not to tear down a relationship. It's to make that relationship better. So things will be exposed, especially if Christ is in the center of that relationship. He wants to have all those things out of your life, all those bad things out of the relationship. So they will be exposed to be getting rid of. So that's why I believe as a man, I will take more of an unhappy relationship, knowing that it is a season that we may be going through. And I feel like some women jump ship before they see the final result. This is going to ruffle feathers too, I swear, man. So the saying, like, let them cook, right? I feel like in a lot of today's relationships, we don't let God cook. We don't wait for the final result. We want to be happy now. We want to be successful now. We want, you know what I mean? We want it right now. And that's that microwave culture that we live in. And I think our culture has a lot to do with the way our marriages are going and things like that, because we want an instant result, whether it's somebody changing or a financial situation or a moving situation or a job situation. We want it now. We want the answer now. Instead of letting God cook and letting us get to where we need to be in a healthy way, we want an instant result where we're not going to learn our lesson. And I feel like that's where these unhappy relationships are. You know, there's a reason why you fell in love. There's a reason why you got married. So why are you going to throw it away over something? Let God cook. All right. Women consult a lawyer faster than a man. I see that. That happened with my ex. Women are more aware of the emotional health of their marriages than men. I believe this. I totally believe this. I believe that women have that emotional connection into that relationship more than men do. And they understand that, hey, there's times where something needs to be fixed. And for instance, it happens with me where the situation will be brought up, and whether I'm in a good mood or not kind of thing, it kind of determines how that's going to go. And we tend to, like, the wife or girlfriend or whoever may bring something up and you'll be like, no, I don't think so. You know, that's not that, there's nothing wrong with me or whatever. And we put it off, and they say it in a loving way to try to, like, open up that door for that change. But as guys, sometimes we don't accept that, and we kind of like put up a defensive shield, and that causes a lot of issues. Sometimes it's the other way around, where a man confronts a woman and the same thing happens. The thing is, though, is when you're in a marriage, like I said, it brings up the most ugliest flaws of your life. And together, you guys are supposed to press through that. You guys are supposed to lean on God lean on help that is in front of you, whether it's a counselor or your pastor or whoever, to be able to work through those issues, to be able to have a better marriage, to have a better relationship. And that's just like touching the surface of it. I don't want to go too deep, but yeah, I mean, women, I believe, have more awareness when it comes to a health of a relationship. I won't deny that. There's some men that do. I'm not going to deny that either, but most men don't understand how severe something may be until their back is against the wall and either the woman is filing for a divorce or the wife or whoever leaves or something like that. And then that's when our eyes are open and say, yeah, maybe there was something wrong with me. That there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of men are that way. We have a lot of things on our mind that we don't think about, that because we're dealing with something else. And women don't understand that either. We have so much on our mind that we're overwhelmed. And then it seems like you add it to the plate. And that's not the way it should be. We should be able to come to you guys with our problems and vice versa, help each other out. And that's the way it should be. That's just the way a relationship and a marriage should be. All right. So basically, another thing I want to say is this. All right. So when it comes to these issues of a divorce and somebody leaving and so on and so forth, the biggest thing I have a problem with is when you go to get married, you say vows, right? And here are the vows, right? This is for a man to a woman. It says this: will you have this woman to be your wife, to live together with her in the covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor, and keep her in sickness and in health? Forsaking all others, be faithful unto her as long as you both shall live. Okay, so when you both say those back to each other unless you have your own vows, right? Those are common Christian vows that we say to each other. When I look at that, it says, will you love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, right? That is Christ loving the church, okay? Christ loved the church so much that he died for her, right? We're supposed to do the same thing. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8 is something that is all the time mentioned in weddings. Like this, the most common verse, right? Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It protects, it always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. That's Christ. That's what we're supposed to do to our wife. That's what we're supposed to do to our husbands. We're supposed to be 1 Corinthians 13. We're supposed to be that for our wife, for our husband. I don't know. I just feel like today's culture is in such a microwave culture that we want instant gratification that we don't let God cook up that meal. We don't let God cook up that meal to a final result that tastes way better than throwing it in the microwave. God does not allow us to go through trials and tribulations just to have a microwave miracle so we don't learn our lesson. He is a great father. He wants us to learn our lesson. And marriage and a healthy relationship is something that exposes darkness in us so that we can be more like him in our marriages and in our relationships, so that we can love and honor and protect and trust and always hopes and always perseveres. Love doesn't fail ever. So if you love that person through the good times, love them through the bad times too, because that person that you fell in love with is still there. They may have problems, they may have issues. You both may have that together, but stick it out, because that's when love really shows.